myself with expectations. It's hardly the first time, for I've died 1,000 deaths trying to live down to them. So I expect it's to be expected. Four syllables soliloquy of impending failure, of endings before beginnings. Equivalent of emotional probation, a never-ending game of Simon. The world is my audience, anxiously awaiting my misstep. The mere sound of the word makes me cringe like scissors on a slate. So I wonder how it is that I can manage to look in the mirror and sleep soundly at night, but upon waking I'm only eager to put everything to rest. Simply because I'm a few million copies short of platinum, a few thousand copies short of gold, and a triple bypass short of empathy. Because of my failure to forge the fairy tale lifestyle dreamed up by Disney. An empty glass makes a poor substitute for the glass slipper, even if they shatter just the same. Hoping that Terry McMillan's of the world will someday write a romance novel for the everyman. He does the best that he can, man, but it's hard enough to breathe in this world without the silent strangulation of unsustainable standards. Suffering from an innate Napoleon complex, always coming up short, aiming at invisible targets, only to be questioned as to why I'm off the mark in an ocean of expectations. Yet I'm not adrift, I'm drowning. 3 decades on this earth and I've barely learned the doggy pattern. But I've slowly succumbed to the currents, gradually filled my lungs with your barbed teeth, and allowed myself to sink. But even though this morning I took your deflated hopes and demands, wrapped them around my throat, and squeezed every last breath of life out of my fragile frame, I know I'll be reincarnated this evening as your disappointment. After all we've been through, I would expect nothing less. Have you ever thought you were loving someone only to find you were enabling them? Jump or cabling them, feeding umbilically until you'd been drained by them? Sacrificed, only to have your own progress detained by them, used and abused, yet you continued to pray for them. Kindness misread as weakness when there was no mistaking them, like a spoiled child who's never known the hand of discipline, running amok because you don't have the heart to break them in. Granting every wish with the hope they'll learn the art of appreciation, yet they take you for granted like their own personal Aladdin, feeding habits like crack addicts only to be cased by them. Feeling for tender spots beneath ribs where their teeth can sink in. Blind as the thick fog of love obscures your intuition, so much easier to see on the outside looking in. Can't trust your guts, nor do you have the guts to take necessary action, for your acts will be misconstrued as self-satisfaction, when in fact it's you who is hurt most by the infraction. Why is it so difficult to see? In matters of love, the purest form there will ever be is the tough love too few of us ever receive, and even less appreciate until it's too late for reprieve. Why is it so difficult to see that in matters of love, the purest form there will ever be is the tough love too few of us ever receive, and even less appreciate until it's too late for reprieve. Why must we feed a man a fish when it would be more prudent to teach him, reaffirming selfish lazy habits as if by the hand of Satan, reinforcing conditioned responses despite the best of intentions, yearning to see them stand on their own feet only to wheel them in, digging their hole deeper until you question whose grave you're in. One shovel, 2 bodies in need of desperate attention. Common sense says you can't help once your grave's been filled in. You got to save yourself first, but you're not inclined to begin. Stone by stone the walls built until you've been bricked in. The last gasps are heard whispering through your womb like coffin, proceed with caution. Retracting positions feeble like innate survivalism. 2 spirits slain when you merely strive for another's resurrection, but you aim to help simply spread this massive infection. Love is all the symptoms of a virus, but for too many it's one in remission. Why is it so difficult to see? In matters of love, the purest form there will ever be is the tough love too few of us ever receive, and even less appreciate until it's too late for reprieve. Why is it so difficult to see that it matters of love, the purest form there will ever be is the tough love too few of us ever receive, and even less appreciate until it's too late for reprieve. From the highest nest, the mother eagle gives her children a shove. Read the lesson, 'cause each and every one of us could use some tough love. Peace out. May look like a piece of paper, but it's a window to my soul. All my deepest fears, like being alone and growing old. All my blood, sweat, and tears, highest aspirations and goals. All my trials and tribulations and relations unfold on the verge of too much information. My life naked and exposed, but I'm not ashamed of my past. It helped me to obtain a hold on a life that had been spinning recklessly out of control, trading moments of intoxicating bliss for a piece of my soul. But over the years, my soul's grown deep like Langston Hughes. I've been banged and bruised. You wouldn't believe the things I've been through. Like step one, admitting I had a problem when it came to the cocaine abuse. Been misunderstood like conversations with uptight white folks when slang's been used. Seen homies fall by the wayside from rocking that gangsta blue. And to all those who doubted me, I can only say thanks to you. It's cause of you that I've got things to prove. Push me all that much harder to make my dreams come true. I've had self-inflicted afflictions, land me up in the ICU, but I survived to do all of the things of which I've been deprived. It's true, well, all this may be a surprise to you. Deep down, all I really want is to be where the skies are blue. But even in third world countries, they're blazing chemtrails with the lies to you. Spoon-fed bedtime storage, global warming, as if you would never give eyes to use and see through the woven webs of bullshit that have compromised the truth. Government steady shitting on the masses as if they were nothing but a bunch of flies to shoot. And why to you, this is just a piece of paper. To me, it's a means to maintain. The only means I've ever known that doesn't involve giving foreign substances the keys to your brain. I'm not religious, but when you hit rock bottom, there's no choice but to get on your knees to pray. Told me the president's gift, carpe diem, got to seize the day. So while this may be just a piece of paper, I ask you to treat it as though you would my heart before you crumble it up and throw it away. Or remind you there's still blood pumping through the arteries, flowing through every fiber of my being, like the waters beneath Noah's Ark. It's not a contrived concoction, it's not a work of art, it's just the inner ramblings of a madman disguised as someone smart enough to do when to cut his losses and win the wars to start. The time for wicked and choosing battles is come and gone at last. It's time to force the powers to be to pull back the curtain, take off their masses. Time to set foundations for future generations of kids. It's time to stop burning and start building the bridges. It's time to look in the mirror and ask you, who that person is. It's not just a piece of paper. This is the life that I live. This is the life that I live. In every man's life, when he's been pushed to his limits, becomes fed up with the gimmicks. I've reached my breaking point, something's got to give. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Grown in a cage, prone to rage, occasionally known to get stoned on stage. Call me the master, but no, I ain't never owned no slaves. Rock quality like 8-ball jackets, shit, I just showed my age. Get on my page, I'm on my way, steady pushing truth till all the clones been slayed. Equitable commodity like a home whose loan's been paid. Ain't nothing gonna keep me out my zone today. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Straight from Cleveland, heart left bleeding, heathen. Alone I thought friends who needs them, but selfish ways wounded only left me reeling. Had to open up to unleash what these eyes concealed. Then resurrected revolutionary concepts, I be them. Enlightening the dark like a church at evening service. Not nervous about my acts of treason. Truth trumps all, if they want me gone, I'm leaving. Government oppression, predictable like seasons. Freedom's just a word, it's what I don't believe in. I've seen too much, the truth's got me seething. 9/11, JFK, 33 degrees in. Chemtrails, weather warfare, non-stop smoke screens. And CIA training terrorists like it's open season. All the masses seems to eat anything you feed them. But I'll drop knowledge until the day that I stop breathing. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Never gonna get the best of me, only I control my destiny. Poet by nature, major hater, hey, at least I admit it. Now go back to your major and wait there till the fire marshal yells danger, danger. Stranger than the crazy uncle who tries to date you and ask for your number even though he's family and he's ancient. My brain checked out a long time ago, permanent vacation. I'm coming hard at the scene, but not because of the love. It's because I've become far too lazy to hold down a job. Responsibilities for old folks and forgot why the blood flows through their veins. And I promise it's not because of the drugs. I'm just fed up with the boxes, stereotypes and cliches. You're talking to a man who once hallucinated for 3 days. You couldn't fit my experiences into a refrigerator box. Straight from an MBA for a degree at the school of hard knocks. I wouldn't trade it for the world, so go attend to your flock. Save your breath, your lips would be better suited for sucking. I'm just playing with the message, supersedes the shock. Just wanna make sure I've got your attention, whether you feel me or not. It's a new world, but chaos is order for lunch with a revolution. You're the fucking Brady Bunch.
Fantasies of monies that rain like storm clouds. Paragraphs from porals that hang your life lynched out. Chasing after glitz and glamour, construct walls as a slammer. Grammar slanger, heavy metal, waist hanger. You major, forgot the minor in the real. Now you can't control your image, it's hard when it feels. You need that spin, yeah, you all on your green. But even Tiger knows that this game is much more than slipping balls inside a hole. I suppose the roads can go from concrete, but you ain't concrete, you paper, mache, and iron. But ladies, big fish in small ponds. Hibachi sushi and needed tampons. In other words, you pussy, and I'm the dish to clean you. Touch one with this mic, I will lean you. My jabs and hooks like black butterflies that swarm you. We sting like bees. It's Ali, motherfucker. Exciting team, CG in this mother. I'm so asphalt, and if you can't do this here, it's your ass fault. My hand unseen, we move in silence. Hungry, mowing far, be my accomplice. Revolutionaries right now, we shoot on sight. 2020 and CB, yeah, we fair for life. If you don't like anything that I'm saying on the mic, get the fuck out of here, cause it's all hindsight.
Allow me to elaborate for the members of the gallery who calculate worth by the emblem over the license plate. A lifeless state's not exclusive to the white dress, shapeless cadavers in a morgue, buried in a righteous place. I might just hate the fact you don't understand that I like this way. I ain't spending money, I'm spending time trying to fight this hate. Live life on pause, scared of death that I might press play. Instant gratification, live your life in a microwave. Born face first into a world for the spineless prey, swallowed by the machine before they know that their life's at stake. I write this way with the hopes young women might close legs, trying to open eyes, not thighs. Lady liberty like this way, close your legs, open a book, build a perception. I'm right this way, no hype sustains, need substance, no matter right, left brain. Aim to entertain, channel the soul, challenge the mind, and maybe just maybe you might maintain. You claim to live your life in a Christ-blessed way, but seems to me you only do it on a nice Sunday afternoon. There's nothing more depressing than human beings trying to follow the footsteps of a man who walked his own path. I repeat, following the footsteps of a man who walked his own path. As if they missed the message. Walk your own path. Walk your own path.
Yeah, put your hands up. Never put them down for nothing, cause even when you fall, you could grab hold of something. Pull yourself back up, a rut is only a rut when you choose to stay stuck. Yeah, I've slept in the car shelter and on couches, dreaming of dressing up the mansion, buying the Ashen, driving to the Hamptons. Haven't yet, but I'm still stacking my chips and I feel it's time to cash in. Rope a dope life like my name was Cassius. Thought it was beating me, but I came back like old fashions. 80s Reebok, gunning for the prize like a bounty hunter. Cowboy bebop, Spike Spiegel. Before I bet arms, I was still an eagle. My every word is lethal, just wait till you hear the sequel. Music that'll reach you, at the same time diluting evil. A champion of the people, with lines of rhymes that I kick the way this beat do. Like gonorrhea, man, I really bring the heat, dude. Make your phony see through. I'm a beast on this joint, saying the point. Walk my own path, headstrong like my brains on roads. Walk your own path. Walk your own path. Walk your own path.
What happens when love's unrequited and different feelings collide? Try as I might to fake it, there's something I know I can't. instant I saw you, the moment was frozen in time. I know that I should have known better than putting my heart on the line. I've tried and I've tried to forget you, but I can't get you out of my mind. Loving you is suicide. Oh, I know that I can't continue. It's more than my heart can afford. I never wanted to love you. I love that love is blind. Loving you is suicide. Loving you is suicide.
The evening started real good, wish I could travel back for a minute. Visions out of this world, I can't forget it. The earth, the distant memory floating as if on another planet. Been hit before this time, I push it over the limit. Started real good, wish I could travel back for a minute. Visions out of this world, I can't forget it. The earth, the distant memory floating as if on another planet. Been hit before this time, I push it over the limit. The week before, popping cash with my boy, just a couple to test what he'd been working on. A few homegrown strains, put in the blender and mix with some OJ to wash it down. That's how we got our fix. Oh yeah, now that's that good shit. A nice smell of buzz topped off with rum and cannabis. We handle this no problem in the nice happy days. Laughs so hard tears come from under eyes that stays glazed over. Tinted shades like a Range Rover. Pays to remain sober's what I say for the day's over, but I play till the game's over. Purple haze like Hendrix, a happy ending this time, like coming down off cloud nine. Flash ahead next week, trying to break that peak from the previous week's activities. Never knew eternal sleep was a possibility. 1 cap, 2 caps, 3 caps, 4, 8 caps, 10 caps, 12 caps more. You know I've done this before. Didn't think that was overboard, but what I failed to realize, the shit was ready to be pure. Boom, boom, those mushrooms before I finish my glass. You all save the rest for later, cause it's kicking my ass. Sit down and watch some futuristic computer animation. Couldn't move to save my life, no need on a journey, it's taking me across the Red Sea. Do you see what I see? Is it real or is it me? Having the time of my life, who wouldn't want to try this? Calculating how to convince a nation about something grown in a glass tank. Makes you think, yo, there's money to make, give or take. But I got ahead of myself, like counting chickens before they hatch. My eyes going wearier down the rest of my glass. Is it wearing off? I lay down for a minute and see through the past. Feel like I'm closed in a cask, frozen. I ask, you smell something burning? Damn, I can't feel my legs. Looking for something in flames, running round in a craze. Muscle spasms, feels like no blood's pumping through my veins. I'm working out, nothing burning but brain cells. Pain swells, then it comes. Paranoia engages thoughts that I might be done. Stomach churning, to the bathroom I run. Bowing to the porcelain goddess, was having fun. And now I'm dialing 911. Consciousness fading in and out, couldn't shout to save me. Hard to breathe, suddenly flashing blue and red I see. Cops and paramedics banging on my door. Collapsed in the corner, lying on the floor. Evidence all around of my crimes, afraid to be doing time. Life is on the line. The evening started real good, wish I could travel back for a minute. Visions out of this world, I can't forget it. The earth, the distant memory floating as if on another planet. Been here before this time, I push it over the limit. Started real good, wish I could travel back for a minute. Visions out of this world, I can't forget it. The earth, the distant memory floating as if on another planet. Been here before this time, I push it over the limit. in a time of innocent splendor. You were the most beautiful woman on earth. You were my universe. Give me the sun, the moon, the stars, Transformers, G.I. Joes, and a slew of matchbox cars, baseball cards. Anything that a kid could dream. You were there to wipe my chin and discipline when I kicked and screamed. But most importantly, you taught me how to stand when I wouldn't learn. The stove was hot until I burnt my hand, but you accepted that's who I am. You raised me from a young pup, banging on the fridge, yelling juice with my sipping cup. You taught me that life is whatever I wanted to be, and when I wanted to be a rock star, you never questioned me. You taught me to chase my dreams. When it came to women, you were my teacher. Taught me to be humble, taught me respect like Aretha. When my girl and I had our first fight, you told me to give her time. When I wanted to rush and make up, you told me to let her clear her mind. That if the love was true, then it would come back to me, and you were right. So I took everything that you told me factually. You showed me the meaning of courage, and that was big to me. Like the time you put my dog to sleep, sparing his pain and his dignity. Yo, I don't have it in me to put a yellow down, but you did whatever needed to be done whenever the time came around. You taught me all matter is energy created by a thought with the frequency. Made me determined to have my vibrations resonate through the galaxy, and that it's a fallacy to be a victim of circumstance. And so you never were a victim, even when you succumbed to the cancer. And what kills me is that it all happened so rapidly I couldn't see the big picture, but now it's clear like a hand-woven tapestry. The path that's free of obstacles isn't always the most fulfilling, so I boldly make my own path there to achieve my dreams, God willing. Your attitude was the path to success, is to never live in doubt. You taught me that gratitude is what life is all about, so I thank you with all my heart. If you're here right now, I kiss you. I want you to know it's not a day that goes by that I don't miss you. I miss you, Mom.
Talking jealousy, like they ain't got nothing better going Hennessy. It's the new age, Dr. Pepper up at Reveille, open for a better me, and you see bitter tweets. I can see them on Twitter talking jealousy, like they ain't got nothing better going Hennessy. It's the new age, Dr. Pepper up at Reveille, open for a better me, and you see.
Quotes without context, quotes without context. Concepts become suspect when thoughts exist without subtext. Relationships become subject to the scrutiny of the public eye. Think it's a travesty, sad to see a nation so hell-bent on tragedy, as if harmony is bad TV. Well, I'd rather be in paradise living happily. Call me crazy, life and stress seems bad to me, so go on and keep the drama, your majesty. Rehearse your lines like a member of SAG to be. Hide behind your facade until it's maddening, holding lies like a man find a trash to keep going and have you speak. Be sure to thank the Academy.
I can see them on Twitter talking jealousy, like they ain't got nothing better going Hennessy. It's the new age, Dr. Pepper up in Reveille, open for a better me, and you see bitter tweets. I can see them on Twitter talking jealousy, like they ain't got nothing better going Hennessy. It's the new age, Dr. Pepper up in Reveille, open for a better me, and you see bitter tweets. I can see them on Twitter talking jealousy, like they ain't got nothing better going Hennessy. It's the new age, Dr. Pepper up in Reveille, open for a better me, and you see bitter tweets. I can see them on Twitter talking jealousy.
fantasy. Like they ain't got nothing better cooking than a sleep. It's the new age, Dr. Pepper of the remedy. Open for a better me and to see.
My heart. There are many like it, but this one is mine. My heart is my best friend, it's my life. I must master it as I must master my life. Without me, my heart is useless. Without my heart, I am useless. Love is a fickle thing. As Dorothy Parker once said, love is like quicksilver in the hand. The fingers open and it stays. Clutch it and it darts away. Men have mistakenly attempted to grasp granules of love, only to forge fingers around throats. Thinking perhaps love might become tangible, if only they could squeeze tight enough. Only to hear love's last breaths escape like helium from a hot air balloon, all too reminiscent of the deflated hearts. To many of us, love remains fleeting like daylight at dusk, as our hearts attempt to adjust to the darkness, as if to tolerate its impurity. Dealing with love's inadequacies the only way it knows how. Adapting, encasing itself in comforts, only letting in just enough light to see its scars. It's a perpetual reminder. I speak from experience, getting just close enough to people to push them away, stiff-arming love at every turn, curtailing my emotional investments. Instead, stashing my heart deep beneath my mattress, after all is the safest place. Tend to look for it on the other side, but I've long been aware of the disconnection between love and lust, much greater than the distance from my beating box to my manhood. A writer once said the way to love anything is to realize that it may be lost. Like melted snow, once gone, love leaves little trace of its existence, except perhaps for a shoebox full of memories that the scars of unrequited love can last a lifetime. I've been loved with surgical precision by a woman accepting my innumerable flaws, only to remain broken. But in the end, all of her love, despite all of my sin, couldn't put my heart back together again. This is what's left of my heart. This is what's left of my heart. Without it, I'm useless.
over until it's over. Fuck, it ain't soldier until it's soldier. Messiah, manicure these cuticles. I'm starting to realize that it's not about the fight, and it's not about the war, and it's not about I love you, it's not about fuck you, it's not about the bills that needs to be paid. It's not about the life you live or the life that we remembered after you have come and passed. It is not the ash to ash, it is not the God you see in God or the God you see in you or the God you see in money or the God you see in these cheap ass thrift stores where you trying to bargain, buy, hustle to find a way to look beautiful for a mirror that you can't find a God in. It's coming to a point where the music moves you. I'll go to sleep in concrete, wake up in concrete, listen to the music move you. The pitter-patter of starving feet in starving streets, little children just hustling for their own parents to know what it feels like to be a child again. I'm not the second coming of God and shit. If I had the opportunity, I wouldn't that be. They say when the inertia comes down into the bloodstream, you would know you feel it. When your heartbeat starts pumping at 1,000 dreams for fear. When the insecurity comes so close inside the repetition of everything that bounces back in between your ears. I love you, I need you. It's on TV today, can you stop? Get gas by milk for the cereal, honey. Honey, I'm going to the goddamn grocery store and I'm planning to buy a pack of smokes, some Gatorade, and a fucking insecurity that I can trade in at a pawn shop for what they would take for a Bible. Mama, I'm only living this life for one apparent reason, and that's to die feeling like I was treason to the devil and fucking self just breathe. Just dream, man. Be the alpha, omega, the Z to the V. I'm so deep off my goddamn mind that I don't know if they'll be able to bring me back. Oh God, rub the paddles clear. I love you like I've never loved any other woman in my life. Oh God, clear the paddles in the clear. Oh my God, baby, I want you to grow up to be a better man than your father was. Rub the fucking paddles, the chest and clear. Make music, that's music for a change. All this digital graphic shit ain't like the music we used to live in the old days. Clear the paddles and clear. You ain't serving the war like we served in the war in Vietnam and came home to be spit on. What is Iraq and Afghanistan? Clear. I wanna know what it feels like to not have to get married and know that it's gonna end in a fucking divorce paddle cloud.
Each day I take a step further away from responsibility. At my current pace, he'll soon be just a speck in my rearview mirror. Truthfully, we were never friends, so I can't say that he'll be missed. But I'm all too aware of the stigma associated with being ostracized from his clique. Somehow he's become the measuring stick for all I should aspire to be, which is particularly confusing to me, as I thought on purpose was the art of deliberate creation, and my creative juices have always had the reputation of flowing more freely without senseless self-imposed inhibitions. Each day I take a step further away from reality. We had a nice fling, but it simply wasn't meant to last. Too much class, and I've always been rough around the edges. I couldn't live up to her standards when it came to being politically correct. this rain to continue, for I lack the sinew to cling to the frayed threads. And so fraught with guilt, we forged one final affair. She gently whispered, and this too shall pass. Each day I take a step further away from sanity. The greatest trick he pulled was convincing me he didn't exist. It's all relative, he told me. Who gives anyone the right to judge? After all, I've been known to associate men who thought the world was flat. And like that, became nothing more than a figment of my imagination. Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Wizard of Oz all wrapped in one, seemingly omnipotent but comprised of smoking mirrors. For mortal is the man behind the mask. Each day I take a step closer to happiness. She seeks me in my slumber, calls me to the calming light. Cradles me with the warmth of her body and implores me to let go, emphatically encouraging as I color outside the lines. She offers the world in exchange for trust, steadying my balance as I learn to ride without the wheels that would ever fix me to the ground and suddenly leaves. Without a salvo, even able to trust my internal guidance. Will I ever manage to take flight? Sail instead of training wheels, barely used.